shame I've been divorced 2 times over dumb shit. I'm ashamed my son call another nigga pops. Cause his mom still bitter, we didn't work it out.
What's up, IG? Good morning, everybody. I'm back, man, and we are with another episode. If you look in the back of my chair, you'll see some mama cooking shirt. Those are some shirts that need to be mailed out from some people all the way back to New Black City. Y'all, those shirts are going out today, okay? So if you were one of the ones that was expecting a t-shirt, Auntie Angie, I keep my word. I know it's been a minute, but I got you. They're being mailed out today. I'm heading to the post office to handle that and a bunch of other things. So first of all, let's thank God we up this morning to even be joined together here on YouTube to have this conversation. Because there is nothing like being amongst the land of the living, right? Because when we're alive, we're conscious, we're aware, we can take actions, we can do things, right? And we got another day to get it right if we didn't have it right. So let's thank God that we are amongst the land of the living this morning. Speaking of that, I heard that DJ K. Slay, who was a well-known DJ throughout our community, passed away. And I'm hearing it was due to COVID complications. And if you guys have ever really paid attention to the news, any of the times that they've reported on deaths, it's never been COVID. It's always COVID complications. So always watch for the hook. But either way, it's always sad when you lose somebody. Shout out to his family, to his loved ones, because truly when we pass away, you know, we're gone on to a better place. We ain't worried about, you know, the issues of this world, but the people that are left behind are the ones that are hurting, which of course, when I played Slim's song this morning on the intro, you know, it made me think about him. And then I was with Jay the other day and Jay made a face and looked just like, you know, Slim. And I was like, man, life is just, life is like a dream. But anyway, we're here. So shout out to everybody in the chat this morning. I see y'all got to jump in. We got 261 people in here. Hold on. Let me go ahead and turn on Bigo because I be forgetting. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Let me go get my stand. We getting ready to get into it. Y'all know what's up. Let's talk about it. Well, I'm sorry. Bigo gonna miss out this morning. I ain't got it together. Okay, wait a minute. This might work. Y'all might be saved. So I've been reading y'all comments on YouTube up under the picture. Y'all know what we talking about this morning. We are talking about this picture of Dwayne Wade's son on Easter. They took some family photos or whatever, and there's a picture that they posted, and the son is kissing his white boyfriend, slobbing him down. They're all embraced, you know, hugged all up, and I don't know if it's appropriate, but I want to talk to you all about it this morning. Hold on, let me set up this Bigo right quick, y'all. One second. The agenda. That's what we're talking about. Y'all know I've been screaming about the agenda for how long? Don't start that. Let's get into this. Let me set this up right. Hold on, y'all. I ain't trying to say no bad word, but in the black community, it's a thing that we call nigger rig. So right now, I'm nigger rigging this phone so it'll stand up. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. All right. Good morning, Bigo. Okay, y'all in there. YouTube, we back. So there's a picture that's up on my Instagram page. And not only is it on my IG page, we also posted it up on YouTube. Good morning to everybody on Bigo over here on YouTube. We was just, you know, thanking God we woke up this morning and we are allowed to be a part of this conversation. So what we're discussing this morning is a picture of Dwayne Wade's son, Zion, kissing a little boy, a white boy. They look real engaged. They hug. They look like they grown. So the question is, how young is too young? And we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to share the picture so that you can see it. Not only am I going to share the pictures, but we're also going to talk about some new laws that have passed in regards to what's going on with the gender identity in our children that are in elementary school. Now, first of all, I want to say that we're getting ready to have this conversation, and I'm going to be dropping a link on YouTube for parents, students, even if you are the parent, whatever your opinion is on this topic, I want you to join the panel this morning because we need to talk about this. We need to talk about how old is old enough and how young is too young. Now, I want to start off by first apologizing to anybody that's getting ready to get offended by this conversation. And, you know, I've been told oftentimes that sometimes I just do too much because of my own circumstances and my own story. And any of you that have read my book, you all know that I was violated at a very, very early age, which is one of the reasons why I guess I fight so hard to say, hey, protect the innocence of children, because once the innocence is gone, right, you cannot get it back. And everybody deserves their childhood. So we need to be protecting children. So if y'all think I be doing too much, you know, I don't know. But child, we need to talk about this. Now, first of all, we all know that yesterday was Easter. For those that celebrate, I grew up in a Christian household. It was celebrated. I remember my mother dressing me up in the big pretty dresses, the hair bows, the, you know, pretty little, you know, baby doll socks, and the, you know, the patent leather shoes and all of that, right? The big Easter baskets, chasing the eggs and all of that. I did that. That's how I grew up. So if that's what you grew up doing, then, you know, shout out to you. If you still cook, whatever. Yesterday I cooked, had an issue with my pressure cooker, got mad, ended up putting the pot roast in the oven. It was good. I laid down to take a nap. By the time I get up, of course, all the food gone. Jay come over here. Quan didn't come take my kids. Just it was gone, right? They saved me 2 little sides, but that's okay. But yesterday was Easter, and so Dwayne Wade, and this is all my opinion, y'all. This is our opinion. This is our opinions. These are our opinions, right? And everybody should be entitled to their opinion. And in no way would I ever use my platform to try to destroy a child, to try to speak down on a child, to try to harm a child. But I will use my platform to speak up for children. I will use my platform to say, hey, America, wait a minute. You know, are we doing things the right way when it comes to protecting the innocence of my children? And do we have a right to say something when it looks to us as if, you know, children are being exploited? Because, you know, at the end of the day, how old is old enough and how young is too young? Because if that was a little 14-year-old girl, okay, with her arm around somebody's neck, all right, and they arm all around her waist, y'all have something to say. She'll be fast. She'll need to sit down somewhere. Y'all gonna want to know who touched her. Y'all gonna want to know who introduced her to sex that early. See, it's a whole thing. I'm just saying, come on, let's get into this. Then y'all talking about Black Lives Matter. Don't get me started, because y'all know I'm finna get ready to get started. Then y'all talking about Black Lives Matter. How you get Black life? All right, let's look at the picture, because y'all already know. All right, let's look at the picture. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. First of all, let me show the first picture. So this is the family yesterday. Everybody's happy. It's Easter. You know, looks to me like that's, you know, D Wade, Gabby Union, you know, the baby. I like her. She got so much personality. That is such a little beautiful baby. The other son and his girlfriend. And then there is Zion and his boyfriend. Now, I don't know if my page gonna get flagged because I didn't say Zaya and her. I don't know. His mama named him Zion. I'm going to call him Zion. Now, there's Zion and his boyfriend, the white boy, the little white boy. I don't know. He might not be white. But again, race shouldn't matter. But then again, y'all say, hey, Black Lives Matter. I don't know what y'all got going on. Here are the Easter pictures. The whole family standing there. They're standing in front of the 75, balloons at the top. So I'm assuming this is a family gathering. Everybody is there. Then we get here to the next picture. Child. Now, first of all, this in front of the same sign. Let me turn this around so y'all can see here on Bingo. So I'm going to have to assume that whoever took the pictures of the family took the pictures, right, of this right here too. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when I was coming up, somebody would have told me to sit my little fast ass down somewhere. That wouldn't nobody been taking no pictures of me, not nobody in my family, not my elders, not my aunties, not my uncles, not my mama, not my brother, they'd have been like, go sit your fast ass down somewhere. And then it's like, what all does that picture say to y'all? I'm just asking. Hold on, because I'm definitely, we gonna talk today. We're going to talk today. I'm finna let y'all start getting lined up in the studio. I'm dropping the link in the chat. We're getting lined up today. What all does that picture say? That didn't look like, and I got people on Bingo because I got a different mix, but they're saying that would be inappropriate even if it was a girl. That's my whole point. You 14. Is this a fast tail little boy? Why you got to do all that? Now, one thing for sure and two things for certain. In this instant, D Wade and Gabby ain't got to worry about Zion, coming home pregnant. I said what I said. Because teen pregnancy is a real thing. I said what I said. Y'all can laugh or whatever. That may be the only benefit that they have. But why are we, and I'm just asking, is this the sexual exploitation of our children? Because, it's one thing, to have a little peck on the cheek. But it's another thing to be swapping saliva, to be embraced, to be mashed up. All this, y'all got COVID going on. I don't know what's going on. We all like this when you start doing all that. Somebody on Bingo talking about that's a trans man he date. I don't know what's going on. And it's my question this morning, and I got three sisters look like right here in the chat. I'm finna get ready to bring them up in the back studio because I want to hear from Black women. I want you to talk to me like this is your son, because my thing about it is y'all already know where I'm at, and this is a living reality for me. When you're an adult, yeah, I have to respect your decision. And there's a difference between respect, right, and accept. When you're an adult, but when you're a child, right? The word said when I was a child, I thought as a child. When you are a child, it is the reason why they have parents. Talk to me. Whoever wants to go first, talk to me.
Man, listen, I wonder if we see the African mind turning Greek right in our faces, Angie.
You better say that. Hold up. Say that one more time real slow so these people can hear you.
I wonder if we see the African mind turning Greek right before our faces. Because this is the way that I feel. If you could take, first of all, I want y'all to take a black man of strength and take a white man, stand them right next to each other. I want you to see and feel the strength, the power of the black man, the masculinity when he stands next to a white man, right? And his spirit is of African descent, whether you come from America, whether you come from Argentina, whether you come from Guyana, you are still of African descent. So to take that African man and weaken him so much to where you put him in the skirt, do you know how powerful that is, Angie? Do you really know how powerful that is? And I feel like this. When they can sit up here and take a black man and you can put him in a skirt, that leaves open season on women and children, like I've heard you previously say so many times, man. I really just don't understand. And then if people know anything about Greek cultures, please look up Later in the Swan. Please go to cathedral buildings to see the gargoyles and the statues. Look up at the ceilings. You see that these people, pedestry is the main form of sexuality in Greece right now today, man. I don't understand why we as black people, we don't understand. We don't see what's really going on. No. Our people have been infiltrated. Our family is no longer a nuclear family. Listen, Angie, do you know how much I listen to Tucker Carlson and all of these other people, white people? I can't think of no names right now. But do you know how much and how often that I listen to them? They're even calling us degenerates, Angie. They think that we are really slow because we are accepting to this. And it's not enough of us sitting up here standing up saying that this is not right. We not going to tolerate this. We not going to take this. This is not us. This is not our culture. You see what I'm saying?
Tisha, you made some valid points. I'm going to put you on mute for a second. Everything sis said is valid, right? And she talked about black men. But I want to remind us of the reality of what's happening right now, right? Because a grown man, regardless of whether we agree or not, he's responsible for his life. This is about children. This is a boy. I want us to remember that this is about our children. This is a boy. This man probably don't even have his molars yet. Come on now. You're not even fully developed. This is a boy. Lonnie, I'm coming to you. We're going to DB, and then Kiana, I'm bringing you on.
How you doing, Angela?
Talk to me, sis. Everybody. Talk to me.
I know you're very passionate about this topic. I agree with what a lot of y'all are saying, especially I have 2 boys, and it's probably hard as a parent. You know, I don't think we want none of our children to be gay, but you know, he is young, and sometimes you have to come into that reality that, you know what, my child is gay. How the Wades are doing it, I totally disagree with that. But you said we have to protect children and everything, even if you agree or disagree of how they run in their household. I think you should change your thumbnail, because to me it does seem exploited that you showing this boy, because he is, how old is he? I'm sorry, how old is?
So he's 14, and I'm glad you said that because I wanted to refer to the comments. And this is the thing, like, I didn't take the picture. Hold on. I didn't take the picture, and it has to be addressed. We can't ignore it because this is the same boy. If you look at every headline magazine, they're exploiting him wearing high heels, wearing skirts. So they're putting him out here as an image to our children. We can't just sit back and say, no, we're not going to talk about it after they release this image, and that family has so much influence over our culture. So that's why we have to address it. So I would never exploit a child. And if I ever put up a picture, it's because they put it out there. So I think it's wrong for us. Like, if you feel like we exploiting them, then what is mom and his daddy doing?
Yeah, and I agree. So you feel as though that the mom and daddy is exploiting them. I feel like that. Do you feel like that?
I do.
So that means you're doing the same. You just have a different opinion of the parent.
I'm not the one exploiting them though.
You are. If you're talking about, you got them on the
Okay,
side.
we're gonna mute you. All right, come on, let's go to the next person. DB, talk to me.
Well, for one, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. So for one, I disagree with the last caller. I don't believe you're exploiting him. I believe they are the ones putting him up for the world to see and have opinions. Two, I never liked I believe he was like 12 years old when they first started putting pictures out with him with crop tops and these long fake fingernails and all of that. And I never liked that. It always made me cringe because I have a 12-year-old daughter and I don't even let her dress like that. I don't even let her wear crop tops and fake nails and all of that. So it just always gave me a weird vibe anyway. I never liked it, never agreed with it, but hey, that's their household. And I mean, it's kind of scary to see the direction that we're all going, that the world is going in. So the only thing I do is just try to make sure I talk to my daughter every day, ask her what's going on, trying to make sure no one's trying to get in her head at school. I ask her what's talked about, by her peers, by teachers, by anyone. And that's really all we can do at this point, because it just seems like it's just everywhere. And it does appear like they're trying to get to our kids. Like one way or the other, through school, through social media, just it's kind of scary. So
DB,
that's it.
I think you made some valid points, sis. And like you said, make sure we talk to our children and we teaching our children. But I think it's time we get more active. Like we need to start forming clubs right now where we going up to these schools together and to these board meetings and where we're standing up. Because we're looking at defects. Are you guys paying attention to all of these defects cases that are being exposed, where defects literally just coming in and removing children? We are losing our parental rights. And when they change the law, it impacts all of us, right? It impacts all of us. But stay with us, DB, if you can, because I want to get back to you. Kiana, talk to me.
So my problem with this whole thing is I have two children that are on the spectrum, right? Asperger 1 plus autism, and then the youngest one is autistic. They are heavy in social media. So now I really have to be 1000% on their stuff just because of this. And the whole thing about it is an agenda. They really want us to see this to fashion and form our children's minds, right? And so for my children to be even compromised neurologically, how are they going to understand that? I have a 14-year-old that thinks he's an atheist, mind you, listening to somebody on YouTube. They're putting this shit out here, excuse my French. I don't appreciate it. My thing is, your home stuff should stay home.
Kiana, I agree with you, sis. Everything that you said is absolutely correct. And our children are being subjected to social influence and social affirmations and whatever society is saying is cool. And we know that because when we was younger, how many of us had the salt and pepper haircut? When salt and pepper them came out, we had the big bamboo earrings. We had 8-ball jackets. We had
it don't change, but it's getting a little bit different now. Like I can get with that when it was back in our day. I'm old school. I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 75. So I've been, you know what I mean? I've been through the decades of stuff. This is different. This is way different. And we got to start feed and really protecting our children because they're coming after our kids and they don't give a crap.
No questions about it. Stay with us, Kiana. Let me move on to Peyton. Peyton, you just joined our panel. Talk to us. And someone said, can they get on here as a man? Absolutely. We want to hear from the fathers too. If this was your son, what goes past parenting and love? Like, I love my daughter too, but am I going to encourage a a sexual relationship. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm absolutely not. I'm going to try to tell you to be young and innocent and pure as long as you can. Here we go, Peyton. We got a male joining us. We need to hear from you. Give us your thoughts.
Morning, Angie. Thank you for having me. By the way, hear me? I don't know. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know, but I'm gonna just talk. But thank you for having me. But I'm a part of the LGBT community, and I know like you, I watch you all the time. I love your commentary. I don't know if you've had one of us on before, but I totally disagree with what D Wade and his kids are doing. And I know it's not a lot of us that disagree with, the community. And once you do disagree with them, it's kind of like, oh, you're a traitor or you're a op kind of. But it's like they don't give a lot of us a voice and an opinion, especially in the LGBT community. And it's like if you disagree with something or a lifestyle or how somebody in the community is acting or how they're raising their kids, you're shamed and you're shunned, which is fine with me because it's always I'd rather be a truth teller than somebody to sit there and tell a lie. But I do disagree with the way that D Wade is raising his kid. I feel as though if I had kids, I would, want to be monitoring and micromanaging my kids, especially in society today, because kids are so impressionable and it's a kind of a slippery slope. But as long as we're head first or we stay like steady and strong with like raising our kids, and like I have cousins, and like my cousin came home the other day. He's 10, or I went over by his auntie house or my auntie house, and he was like, oh, he has a classmate in his class who's gay, and I'm like, I was just kind of silent on it because I'm like, that's kind of a slippery slope. That's a conversation for him and his mom to have. But I feel as though this whole LGBT thing, like I don't think children should be involved in it. It's very toxic. It's not an environment or a place that you would want your kids to be in because, a lot of the people inside of it, I mean, a lot of the times, and it's become radicalized. I don't know what happened or where along the way, because before it just used to be for, LGBT rights, people, like gay rights and things. But now I feel as though now people have kind of radicalized it. And it's more so become like a movement to bulldoze people. So it's like now you can't say nothing about the LGBT community. Now you can't have an opinion on people who are in the LGBT community. And it's like everybody's kind of sensitive. You get what I'm saying? Whatever happened to the days of, like sticks and stones, like nowadays it's okay, you throw sticks and stones, I'm gonna get you fired from your job. I'm gonna get your concert canceled. I'm gonna make sure, you can't feed your family, and I'm gonna go call your school. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because I have made comments about stuff pertaining to the LGBT community, and people were like, "Oh, we're gonna call your school, your university," and I'm like, "Well, it's just my opinion." But in terms of the D Wade and Zaya Wade thing, like, I think that whole thing is too fast. I think let that kid be a kid. Nothing sexual should be involved with children at all. I feel as though like, keep that away from kids. But that's kind of all I wanted to say.
They shut us down.
Hello.
I hear everyone.
Hey, okay, can you guys hear us? Twin, you're the next person on, Twin. Talk to us. I think that everything that shout out to what that young man was saying. If you guys didn't hear me, I'm sorry. I think that, 1 second. Let me just wrap this up because nobody heard it. To Peyton, the young man that was joining us, thank you so much. I think that this is why I'm kind of grateful for the connection God has given me to the LGBTQ community through my own child, because they're beginning to listen to me and pay attention and open up their eyes. And I think that us as adults collectively can agree that regardless of what we're doing as grown folks, mature enough to make grown decisions, we know our children shouldn't be doing them. So shout out to Peyton. Twin, let me hear it.
First of all, I want to say that if I was you, I would clip that LBGT conversation that you just had and use that as another YouTube clip because that needs to get out. You know, it's not a lot of brothers out here like that. And also, I want to say that you should team up with my pastor because he's the only one preaching the word of God in its truest form. And a lot of times they have canceled a lot of his videos on YouTube. He's a world-renowned pastor. I know you can get an interview with him, and you know he always preached this stuff, and he talks about how God is against this stuff, and he always talks about how they manipulating the children at very young ages with this gay stuff, you know, and it's really bad because you think that you shouldn't have to micromanage your school, your kids, the school your kids go to, but now you have to because they're making this thing like it's a trend. It's almost like when people wanted to wear baggy pants or boys wanted to get an earring in their ear, now they got ear loops. Now it's like being gay is making you. It's like a sense of endearment. It's almost like the way we use nigga. It's like a style. It's so crazy. Like this thing is not even just a lifestyle. It's pretty much like I want to feel a part of something, so I'm gonna be this way just to feel a part of something. It's like joining a game.
Let
That's
me
literally
ask
what
you.
it is.
Let me ask you a question. As a man, and I'm assuming that you're a straight man, because it was good to have the commentary with the gentleman that was on a second ago. But as a father, I just want to hear the perspective, like as raising sons.
Oh well, being in the truth of God, especially I go literally by what that book says. So pretty much I know it's a spirit, and the only way that spirit is going to be out of that person is through the word of God, because my pastor have shown that when you preach against that spirit, people eyes will come open. I have a lot of people that were homosexuals in my church that are not homosexuals anymore. And like I said, as a father, I got two daughters, and if my daughters told me that they wanted to be that way, I would be like, listen, you're welcome here, but your lifestyle is banned from this household. Your lifestyle, when you come to my dinner table, you're not going to come in a dress. You're going to come looking like a man. If you can't look like a man, you stay away from my house. Simple as that. Because you have to do that because you can't allow this lifestyle to be portrayed on you and then taint your other kids. You know, if it takes this a problem. A lot of people are not willing to sacrifice. If your child is that way, you got to be willing to sacrifice that person because the simple fact is if they don't want to learn, then let them go out on their own. Let them feed their own self. Why should they use your money to promote that lifestyle? This it's really and it's really destroying a nuclear family because my question is where the baby gonna fall out at? If everybody's like this, where the baby's gonna be created? It's like now we fighting abortion rights with people having the right to kill a baby. Now we gotta fight the right for our children just to have a decent education without them being sexualized. The last time I checked, is the only way somebody know you gay is if you're attracted to another sex, to the same sex. Nobody would know you gay. Nobody would know whatever you want to be. But the thing is, people just can be whatever they want, and then we supposed to accept it and have it like down our throats, like we can't say nothing about it, or we get canceled, or if they wanted to throw us in prison, they'll do that too. I mean,
Okay,
that's what
let
might
me
come next. That
let
might
me
come next.
let me I think you made a lot of valid points. And I think that, one of the things that you stated is you go strictly by the Bible. And I want to tell you this. There are times that you feel like that, and then you end up getting a child like that in your own household. Because I was raised by a mother who was a preacher. I was raised in the church. I know that word from front to back. I know I done read the Bible over 50 times, right? And I am a confessed Christian. But I also know, right, that once they reach a certain age, our job is to love, right? Now, loving doesn't mean, right, that you can't chastise, because the word says he chastises those that he loves. Absolutely. You constantly give truth and correction. But sacrificing our children, absolutely not. Now, you don't have to accept it, right? But you can love, right, without having to sacrifice. And I want to say that to any parent. And it's different when it hits your house, because we stand on it, right? And we believe that and we feel that. And then when it hit our house, right, it's absolutely different, because we dealing with this thing, and we know that we love our children. You know what I'm saying? And God done loved us, and some of us been some damn fools, because I know I was one. But I just want to say, Brother Day, as far as being a man, I asked you for your opinion and your stance, and that's that. And I've heard that before. You're not the only one. And if that's how you feel and you stand on it, I just wanted to share that with you. But listen, y'all, check this out. We got 970 people in the 974 people watching us right now having this discussion. I don't know anywhere else y'all can go and get on a panel and be able to have an open discussion about something like this. Nobody else that's not scared. So it's important for us to help keep the lines of communication open. They will not allow me to monetize on my channel. Y'all already know, everywhere I go, they blocking me. So the Cash App is up at the bottom. I don't ask for much. I'm not even going to ask for nothing this morning, but it's there. And if you want to help, you want to contribute, understand how important it is for us to come together as a community and have these conversations, even when we don't agree. Even when we don't agree, but how are we going to figure out what the hell are we going to do when it comes to our children? We watching what's going on, y'all. I'm showing y'all, I'm constantly exposing you. Not only is it in the government, it's in the Board of Education. This impacts us all. Nobody has immunity from this situation. Are they sexualizing our children, and are they using this little boy, right, as a person of influence? He was on the interview with Michelle Obama for Women's Inspiration Day. Michelle Obama was telling our young girls, this is the young woman. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm finna pull it up. Everybody on the panel, mute your mics right quick. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. You know I'm coming with the receipts. Where is it at? Is this it? Here we go. Oh. Mute your mics, y'all. Let's watch this.
Couldn't help but be a little spooky. Hi. How are you? Good. So nervous. How are you? Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's daughter couldn't help but be a little starstruck when meeting one of her idols. Zaya Wade fanned out over Michelle Obama this week when the pair teamed up for a virtual chat about the former First Lady's best-selling memoir, Becoming. And the teen admitted she was nervous to realize such a long-standing dream of hers was coming true. What's going on? Tell me, what's on your mind?
I'm just nervous, but really excited.
Don't be nervous.
I'm meeting an idol. I'm literally meeting an idol. But just preparing for this moment for so long.
13-year-old Zaya asked Michelle what advice she has for young people who want to follow her example of pursuing their dreams with inspiring confidence. And Michelle confessed that she thinks Zaya is the one delivering an important message of empowerment.
I'm so proud of you, being just an amazing role model and embracing your truth, right? You're already doing this, so maybe this is for some other young people that are listening.
What?
It does take time to know what your self is, for young people. So my first piece of advice is be patient with yourself. number one, at you.
Y'all know I can't play it for too long because they gonna flag the page. Listen, this y'all queen. This y'all queen. You inspire young people to do what? This what you want my daughter to look up to? First of all, why my daughter gotta look up to a little boy acting like he a girl? Because I know, personally, I know some young Black girls that won the Harvard debate championship, that got offers from every #1 school in the country, was born in a prison. They can't get an interview with Michelle Obama talking about this is who we want our young girls to look up to. Explain to me, and y'all please, because we preaching now, if you haven't donated, help me out, because you know they coming for me after this one. Explain to me why my daughter need to look up to a little fast-tailed boy as a woman of inspiration. I'm going back to the panel. Just Bree, you was next. I need you to talk to us while I calm down and go get me some coffee.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me on, Angela. I love you and I appreciate you so much. I have a 12-year-old son, so that's why I felt it was important to call in. I do talk to him often about, what's going on in his head, what's going on in school, and things of that nature. And it's kind of funny. I have a little funny story. I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race one day, and he was about 7 or 8 years old, and I was thinking he wasn't paying attention, and because he was off to the side, kind of like playing, and he goes, "Are those boys?" And I was like, "Uh-oh." I said, "Yeah." And so, I turned the channel and everything, and at that point, I knew. I'm like, "Oh God," he knows. And also we there was a cashier at my grocery store who was a transgender, a not attractive one. Not that matters, but it was obvious. Let's just say that. And my son just like, he was looking at him like, what the? And I had to explain it to him. And what I said was, it's his choice to dress like that, but we still have to be respectful of people, I don't agree with it. You know, things like that. Unfortunately, his father is not that involved in my son's life, but to God be the glory. And I just want to add, because I don't want to go on a monologue, but
I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. Oh, I done got some tea in, y'all. Look, I'm sorry to have to cut you off, but I got to show y'all this. Breaking news. Come to find out, y'all, they saying that the little boy in the picture, we all got it wrong. We thinking it's 2 boys. They saying it's a trans child, y'all. I got the Instagram page. Here you go. The little boy in the picture is a little girl, a trans girl. We talking about the agenda. Look at this. Oh, what they got? Oh, wait a minute. So that's how when she was a girl? Now, how old is this one? How you a boy? Y'all, listen. This Hudson and her sister. So they just started this page. When was this post? 2019. Wait a minute now. I'm getting ready to take this off. So this is a trans child. Now this is breaking news. Here he is right here. Here it is right here. This is the agenda. Now, how you get Black Lives Matter out of that? I'm just asking. I just want to get started this morning. I just want to get started this morning one time because y'all told me we going around burning down every black neighborhood. We tired of the white slave man. Like, don't come talking to me about you hate the white man when you... Child, listen. How you get Black Lives Matter out of this? Y'all talk to me. Just Bree, I'm sorry. Right now, Miracle, it's on you. Let's go.
Thank you, Auntie Angie. Thank you for even having this conversation. I appreciate a lot of things that I've heard already. You just asked, how can we get Black life from that? I guess the question is, how can we get life at all from this agenda? Because I am a mom now. I have a 3-year-old. I don't even know if I'm going to put him in school at this point. So we praying about that, And I mean, I think we all should just take this a little bit more seriously. Yes, I do, follow the Bible. I do agree with what the Bible has to say about these things. But even if we don't think about it spiritually, even though I think we should, because I think, well, one, it'll help us to not just focus on the people, but understand that this is a bigger picture going on. And so that's when people say the agenda and grooming and whatnot, it's not even just, in my opinion, it's not even just the people that we're looking at. It's an overall message that's trying to get across, yes, to the younger generations, but that's me and my opinion there. But yeah, I mean, if you don't want to think about it spiritually, I mean, we'll just think about it from, that human perspective. I know a lot of y'all have already brought it up, but if everyone is turning to these lifestyles or changing their bodies or whatever the case is, there's no way to procreate, and I think that's what it is at the end of the day. I mean, I know since 2020, my eyes is open to a lot of things, thanks to you and thanks to some other individuals and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, again, how can you procreate? How can there be, like you say, more life at all? And why? Why? I mean, because at the end of the day, too, like when you're changing yourself, now I don't know if they've gone through the surgeries, these children and whatnot, but those that do, right? Then from my understanding, you change yourself forever. Like there's no going back to what you used to be. And I think what the other LGBT gentlemen shared is something that needs to be heard, as well as individuals that have gone through that. Because I've heard several testimonies from, trans people and, LGBT community that go through certain things and then they either change their life. But I just think in particular, when it comes to trans, I don't think there's any way to come back. And y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any way that you can get those body parts back the way they were. And I think that's the things that we need to keep in mind. Like,
I think
especially for kids.
Kids, children. That's what we're talking about, especially so early. And I just want to respond to a comment that was made with somebody say, you got a gay son. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. That's why I'm using my platform right now to speak about what's going on with our children. I mean, nobody got to tell me, like, y'all don't know nothing about my child that I don't know. I promise you, I knew it first. And it ain't nobody walking this earth that love my child more than me. I'm talking about nobody walking this earth that love my child more than me. I want to make that clear. But I also want to say this. Like, we got to quit worrying about these people getting offended when we talking about our children, because at the end of the day, this is all about confusion. And one commenter, Shan Mathis, just said, God is not the author of confusion. Don't tell me it's not confusion when you got Zaya going from a boy to a girl to be with a boy that's actually a girl. This is all confusing. And if it's confusing to us as adults, we know that it is confusing to our children, and they're giving our children choices because our children are looking and watching at this and saying, wow, I want to do that. It's just like watching your superhero on TV when you was little. All of us went and saw Superman. Next thing you know, we run around the house with our brothers and sisters with towels wrapped around our neck, trying to jump down a whole flight of steps. Some of you probably got some broken fingers, ankles, or anything, thinking you Superman running through the house, jumping up and down off of your mama's furniture because you were influenced by something. They are influencing our children and giving them these choices. And then once they give our children these choices, they're telling us as parents, right, that we do not have the right to say, no, you can't be Superman, right? You ain't got no cape that can make you fly. It might look like a cape, but when you jump your retarded ass off of the top of them steps, baby, you ain't gonna fly.
I think it's important for us to tell the truth, like you just said. I mean, we have to be honest about that, you know. Again, I know we're focusing on kids, so you know, especially when it comes to kids, because again, making those huge choices at that young age, again, it's going to affect you the rest of your life. I think introducing the kids to these things early is going to affect them the rest of their life. I was somebody that was basically introduced to. I just put it like, long story short, y'all. You know, I had a babysitter that encouraged me to kiss her, right? And that affected me the rest of my life, you know, with thoughts, ideas, things like that. And the, you know, my mother's an evangelist, so obviously she instilled Christ in me. And so I believe that helped as well, because, you know, I'm an example of training a child in the way that she goes. So when I was having different thoughts and whatnot, I went to God, I went to the Bible. And then for me, I was like, okay, well, I see what it say, and that's how I'm going to live my life moving forward. However, I know it affects different kids differently, right? Somebody else could have gone through the same thing I've gone through and it be traumatic for them, right? So that's why I don't think, you know, exposing kids to all these things, sexual things, at this early age is appropriate. I mean, I'm worried, honestly, as a parent, because I'm like, well, I feel like just to get a leg up of the things that kids are being exposed to, I do have to expose my 3-year-old, right? I have to be like, hey, son, so look, you know, that's how I feel right now. But
truth, because
I also saw
in society.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying you have to speak truth because it's something that they're seeing in society. But I want to get back to you in a second. I want to hear from Jamel right quick. And Jamel, when we go from you, we're going to go to Brian, and then we're going to go to Kai. Miracle, we're going to come back to you in a second. I want to get everybody a second to just speak so we can come back collectively and, you know, just go over all of the points being made. Jamel, it's on you. Are you with us, brother?
I'm with you. I'm with you. What's going on, big cousin Angie? I've been following you for a while. I enjoy your platform. I'll make it brief, but I wanted to make a comment. I recently watched the Dr. Phil episode with your son and you, and I was highly pissed. One, two, I'm a psych major too, and I started thinking when he was giving these studies about they studied the trans brain and it's wired, this, and the third. I started thinking, like, I got a bachelor's, just a basic bachelor's, and it's basic psychology. And then if you take it to the word of God, the word also say the way a man thinks, so is he. So when you start thinking that you're a woman or you start thinking these things, your brain is automatically going to wire itself for you to believe that. Does that make sense? Like, and when he was saying that type of stuff, and I was like,
let me tell you how it makes sense, because these names and these pronouns and these titles are all manifestations, right?
Exactly.
And a manifestation is something that you speak and it comes forth. So when you say, like me, mother, right? My first manifestation was daughter because I was my mother's child, right? Then my second manifestation, right, became woman. Then my third manifestation became mother. So these are all manifestations, and it's all psychological, just like you say. I have a degree as well. But go ahead, brother, you cooking. I just wanted to talk on that.
Yeah, most definitely. And just speaking to the sister about the public school system, I just left teaching elementary school back in January. This was part of the reason why, simply because they want teachers to indoctrinate these kids over this demonic agenda that we pushing. Mind you, I grew up in a 2-parent household. As you see, I'm a black male. My father, he raised me the best way he could. Now, my parents, I think they knew, you know what I'm saying, that I had feelings for the same sex or whatever. My dad would beat me in the chest. You know, you ain't gonna be no punk. You ain't gonna be no faggot. You know, I got all that growing up. Now, it was a choice that I made as an adult. I got into church, got into this apostolic, straight holiness church. You fire, hell, and brimstone. You even think about laying with the same sex, you know, and it helped me morally, and it also, I would say, helped the church, because when I first started going there, like, they were preaching, they were like, you know, ain't no faggots and dykes going to heaven. And then I'm looking around like, who in the hell did these people preach? You know what I'm saying? But the connection that I had as far as, because I grew up in church, so the connection that I had with God, I knew what the relationship with God is. And I can say that even speaking from somebody coming from that lifestyle, looking at this LGBTQ all the way up to pedophilia agenda, it's coming after our kids. I have a best friend that's got a 5-year-old daughter, and this little girl told her mama that she had a dream she married a woman. And my homegirl is a free spirit.
Oh,
yeah, had a dream that she married a woman. They have an agreement that this little girl has to wear girl clothes, even down to panties, on Fridays. And it pisses me off because I'm just like, as a child, I didn't have to worry about this. Now, mind you, I grew up in the hood, you know, kids touching on you and stuff. Yeah, we dealt with that or whatnot. But as a child, it wasn't pushed on TV. You know what I'm saying? So it highly pisses me off. I tell people, even gay, straight, or whatever, it's time to advocate and pull together simply because they coming after our kids, whether you like the lifestyle, whether you agree with it or not.
Shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation this morning. We hearing from everybody in the community. Join us. It don't matter if you gay, straight, rich, poor, Republican, Democrat. We talking about our children. Let's go to our brother, Brian Rains. Talk to us. You up next.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we hear you loud and clear.
Grand Rising and good morning to everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel. And it's a pleasure to speak with you once again, Ms. Angela.
Thank you. Let's talk.
Real quick. They did come out with a song maybe a couple of months ago saying that they were going to convert our children. Lil Nas X did say, and excuse my heathenness when I say this, but he said, F your kids. And they literally mean that now, more so than anything. See, we're in the time of revelation. And whether people want to realize and accept this or not, that's on them. But you can't stop what God already has in motion. So everything that we are seeing with our people being shot down by the police, with the government pushing to abort our kids, to this agenda, this is all another system of courtesy by the devil himself.
Now, brother, hold on 1 second, because I found the video. I got the video pulled up that he talking about. I want to put him on hold 1 second because I want y'all to see this. If you haven't seen it, get ready for your mind to be blown. Everybody on the panel, please mute your mics for 1 second as we share this.
Okay.
To hate, we're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. You think we're sinful? You fight against our rights. You say we all lead lives you can't respect. But you're just frightened. You think that we'll corrupt your kids if our agenda goes unchecked. Funny, just this once, you're correct. We'll convert your children. Happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco, make them wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
Woo! Y'all, listen, that's why they kicked me off Twitter, because I told them, you come for mine, baby. I got something for you. I don't know where y'all at. Brother, let me give it back over to you. I need these people to see how for real this is. Finish with your comment, brother. Then we're gonna move on to Kai and then to Korea.
Okay. Real quick, I'm gonna throw out a Bible verse, Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. So, as I stated before, I'm gonna state this again. This is the tool of the devil. This is another way to kill our legacy, our generations after us. As crazy as it is that we not together like we should be. And the devil knows this. So he's going to do any and everything possible to throw anything out there to distract us, to deter us, to tear us down, no matter what the case may be. So we as parents have to do the necessary thing and safeguard our children. We got to put God first into the situation. And I know for some that it may be a hard task to do so, but I'm urging you to do so because these times are getting darker now. Biden just got through saying not too long ago that he is pushing this agenda for the New World Order, and this is a part of it. His cohort, Barack Obama, solidified these rights or these liberties, if you will. So this next phase, which you're seeing now, is coming about. And if we don't do something soon, and imperatively speaking, we're going to lose our children left and right, especially to this, because they don't have the same respect for elders and authority like we once did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the elders that do have this information, a lot of them are not giving it. And we have to change that. In order for this to stop, at least to a degree, because at the end of the day, people have will, therefore they have choice. If that's what you choose to do, so be it. But don't sit here and try to project this onto our kids, because now it's not about rights or responsibilities, or not about rights or liberties. It's about being a predator. The closet that y'all made for yourselves back in that time frame where it was not fashionable to even be either gay or lesbian, that closet has been cleared out for the heterosexual man and woman to go in there. And they want to lock this door up. They want to throw away the key, and they want to put a chair in front of it. So we can't do nothing to help our kids. And this sickens me. Ironically enough, you had put up another post in regards to the man in New Jersey, or the transgender in New Jersey, rather, that got the 2 women pregnant. And I did a post in reaction to that as well, which is what prompted me to speak on this today. And like I said, it saddens me and it sickens me that they're relentlessly going after our kids, and they're making it somehow okay. And it's like there's nothing that we can do to stop it, and we need to figure out something in order to stop it.
I agree so much, brother. You're right. They coming after our children. Let's move on. We're going to Kai, then we're going to Kiera, then we're going to go to your thoughts, and then Kaba. All right, let's we on Kai. Talk to us.
Grand Rising panel, if y'all can hear me.
We hear you. Good morning.
Hey, Miss Stanton, how you doing? I really want to say I appreciate the hard work you've been doing these past 5 years. If our people only knew the okie doke we've been going through since the end of Bush's son leaving office, since 9/11. Miss Stanton, if our community just knew and understood politics a little more, we understand where this is all coming from and what we need to do to, lift up our community. We see the agenda now. You're giving your hard time that you don't even have to be giving us to wake up our conscious awareness. And I just want to say appreciate that again. And the stuff D Wade is doing is just, man, it's so sick. you know, especially when you looked up at somebody like him growing up, and just to see, you know, he sacrifices his child to uphold a status of him and Gabby. So, you know, the Hollywood stuff is just all entertainment. We got to snap out of that. We really have to relearn everything that we was taught, and get the conscious awareness of what's forth. We need to worry about the agenda we need to take to build our communities, our women uplifting the man again, our men being fathers, being respectful, and uplifting the women. Also bring back the balance within our community. We all still have that conscious awareness, the question of, you know, who am I as an individual? We all still know what's right from wrong, even though we got some of us that might be programmed or leveraged through the culture of music, or, you know, whatever's been pushed out on TV. We got to stop making excuses, y'all. We see this lady is out here giving us game, giving us, you know, real clear, authentic truth of what's going on. She put fight and effort. She even got it in her own family. And also, I want to thank the guy that's part of the community that came on here and spoke his truth, because there it is. He told us exactly how he feel. You know, our kids should be off limits to this. So y'all, the clock is ticking. You know, we really gotta, you know, put forth what we know was right and stop playing around with time, because we can't keep sitting here saying, "Oh, it's this, that, we in Revelation and this and that." We really have the opportunity to make change. We are still in a pandemic that I don't know how they're gonna call off, and you know, all these past 2 years gave us the you know, the what am I supposed to do, what next, and what is it that's actually going on in our country. So, Ms. Stan, I thank you for having this panel. I thank you for the time and effort that you're doing to enlighten all of us, and get us back on the right path of and
Thank you, Kai,
having
so much.
time to encourage our community. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai, so much. This is what I want y'all to do. I'm getting ready right now to put down at the bottom and in the comments my website for the nonprofit organization. We're getting ready to focus more on bringing us together to fight for our children. If you want to be a part of that, you need to go over to the website so you can subscribe, so you can be up to date and receiving our newsletters. The reason why this is important is because certain things that I'm not allowed to put out through social media, I can send to y'all through the I'm trying to find the website now here so I can post it. I can send it y'all through the mail letter so we can stay up to date on what we need to do in order to get activated. So I have that down at the bottom. It's time for us to take action. These panels are good, but we got to get ready to show up, and we got to get ready to show out. Kiera, it's on you, and then we headed to your thoughts.
Hi, Miss Staten.
Hey, baby.
I'm 21 years old. I'm a young mom, and me and my husband, we literally have this conversation every time something comes up in the media. We're a military family, and it's sad that me and him have to worry about how our daughter is going to grow up or what she's going to be taught in class. Like, I'm on the verge of wanting to become a teacher because these kids need a leader to teach them what's right and what's wrong, and what is, you know, how can I put this in words? Because it's sad that they're trying to trick our kids to think they can just be anything, like switching some like sex physically. I just left from work and saw this book saying like how to be a good parent for trans youth. Like, what is trans youth? They're kids. Why are we trying to change their sex? They're barely even developing their mind.
Right.
And like how you were saying, how we need to figure out a solution. I feel like we need to start pulling our kids out of these schools because they're trying to change all these rules where they're allowed to talk about these things in school. Teachers are allowed to talk about sex with students. Like, I get it. High school health class, that's good information to learn about. But actually talking about sex and sexuality and things you should do and stuff like that. That's not okay. I really believe like homeschooling our kids or building educational systems ourselves will be the one thing that could help our kids.
Well, the first thing I want to do, and everybody in the chat, man, y'all shout out to this sister for being a young mom that's aware and really up on what's going on. Man, if I had your knowledge when I was having my babies back at 21, I do believe I would have made much better decisions in raising my own children. So I just want to commend you for one, for being in the military, for being married, for being a mom, for representing, you know, the nuclear family. And I think that you have every right to be concerned about the future for your children and what they're being taught in school. And I'm just praying that more young women, young mothers are out here listening to you right now about how important it is. So you can be young and wise. Don't think that you cannot. We moving over to our girl, Your Thoughts. They done already been commenting about you, Your Thoughts. Somebody say you are the truth. So guess what I'm finna do? I'm finna let you have it. Let's go.
Greetings, beautiful people. Can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for allowing me on your show, Angela. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate all the work you're doing. I really do. I listen to you all the time, although I don't be able to comment because I be busy, but I be listening. Okay, now let me break something down to my people. Okay, first of all, we have to stop blaming other people and allowing other people for raising our children. It's our fault. The onus is on us. Let's get that out the way. When your children are trying to learn, they beginning, they infants, and they goo goo gaga, or they try to say mama, dad. We can teach them that. We need to start teaching them about their sexual organs and what they were here for and what it's designed for. If moms and dads don't know what your function of your organs are, you need to learn them and learn the proper names and explain it to your children. Just like they walking and you teach them how to walk and tell them the stove is hot, tell them they have ovaries and they have vaginas. Tell the boy children the same thing. Let them know what the girl children have and vice versa. Stop making all these pet names, these names for your body organs. Let them know what the functions are early, just like you teach them their address and their telephone number. That is your job. Then when they get old enough, they can make informed decisions of what they want to be, who they want to be, but they know what that organ is for. Number one. Do that make sense?
That make all the sense in the world. Keep talking.
Okay. And now I'm going to say this. Now, we're not going to talk about the Bible and all that stuff because people have different beliefs. But what you do know is that you can look outside and you can look at the animals and you can see that a bear don't have sex with a gorilla. You can see that even to the tiniest insect, an ant and a gnat, they do not have sex with one another. They do not have babies or insect. You know, they don't have that. So look at nature. If a bird sings, that's the kind of music that the Creator loves because He put it in them. So he put in you. He put into you what your body function is. And if people will stop running around here thinking that sex, looking at all these old shows and people coming in like a tall, dark, and handsome and putting all this stuff in your head, if you know that sexual intercourse and having children is a spiritual act between a male and a female. It's a spiritual act. It is not for your pleasure. It is to have more children to multiply. Then I'm going to leave y'all right there because I don't want your head to explode.
Ooh!
Okay?
Ooh, look at here. Listen, she spoke truth. Cause I know the only time I ever got pregnant and had a baby was after I laid with a man, and I did that 5 times. So I'm just saying she's speaking truth. And even in the wild, like going back to what our sister was saying about nature, you don't see male gorillas trying to breastfeed their babies. The female gorilla has the baby. The female, like, it's natural. You understand where I'm coming from? Some things are just natural, and it's also natural for us, right? Being mammals, animals, however you want to relate to it, for us to protect our young. Protect our young. The cycle of life, this is evolution. This is how we continue to make the world go round. How we see the flowers, they die and come back every spring.
Universal law.
This is just the law of nature, y'all. Kaba, where you at? You've been waiting patiently. Come on in. We want to hear from you.
What's going on, sis?
Good morning, brother. Talk to us, man. You tell me what's going on. I don't know.
So it's amazing how things work, because I just posted this picture on my TikTok, right? And before I even get into everything, I'm based out of Atlanta, just like you. I'm a published author, and I'm a former street dude. I co-founded an organization called United Streets of America, and we talk about a lot of these different topics all the time on our clubhouse. I'd like for you to come on sometime if that's possible. But I think we probably even know a lot of the same people from Atlanta. But with this, what's going on, I want to challenge our people to be proactive in their thinking, because what happens a lot of times is we wait till it get this bad to start talking about things and seeing things and saying things. And with a lot of what's going on in pop culture, we got to realize that a lot of this stuff is socially engineered, and it's specific. It's targeted towards us because we are always going to be the targets, because they know who we are, you know. So when we get into all of these different mechanisms of control, whether it be the school system, whether it be religion, whether it be politics, all of these different things, what we got to come to the realization of is that these are all constructs that they created to keep us in the wrong mindset as to how we should be viewing what's going on and how we can combat it, you know. So I don't want to give a whole long spiel, but to the brother that was saying what he was saying, for instance, about 9/11, when you go back and you understand what was really going on with the different presidents that was put in power, all of them people was subservient to George Bush Sr., going all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Bill Clinton was dealing drugs with George Bush Sr. You know, George Bush Jr., of course, was his son. Barack Obama was his cousin. So when we really understand that, that's why it was such a big deal. And because when Donald Trump became president, the world went up in arms, because that was the first time that we had a president in a very long time that wasn't a part of that extension from the Bush family. That, you know, he got his nickname Poppy Bush because he was the one who was bringing the poppy plant, or the heroin, into the country in the 60s. So when we understand that all of these different things that they put in front of us are mechanisms that keep us from seeing the real agendas, and the agendas has always been the attack on us, and it's psychological, it's spiritual, and physical as well. So I don't have nothing more to say than that, but I definitely appreciate you for letting me come on. And is there any way I could get an email or something that we could contact each other? Because like I said, I think we probably know some of the same people, and we could do some great work together.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining the panel this morning. I'm gonna make sure, if the website is actually down at the bottom. If you go to that website, it's an email, and just send me your information, and they'll get it over to me, and we'll contact you. Clubhouse, I think Clubhouse suspended me the first day I was on Clubhouse, so I just never went back, and they suspended me for basically reading. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. They suspended me basically for reading verbatim what was on Joe Biden's website in regards to transgender youth. Now, there are a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people coming through the website down at the bottom, because I'm sitting here watching this right now, subscribing for our newsletter, so we can go ahead and get activated in our community, and that's great. But you guys also need to donate to keep the lines of communication that we do have open, because the majority of people that we're going to reach them through social media. So if you got $5 or $7 or $10 to spend on some edibles, clothes or to spend on some trash McDonald's that you don't need anyway, make sure that you guys are donating something. We got 1,240 people in the live stream right now. You guys need to be liking, you need to be sharing, make sure that you subscribe. This is going to be probably one of the only open free lines of communication that's not afraid to address these issues, right? And they can't call me a racist. All they can do is hate on me and continue to show you guys how serious censorship is. You all saw what I posted the other day about the Biden administration making a ruling that they're going to shut down Elon Musk offer to buy Twitter. Come on now. It's that serious. These people do not want us to be able to communicate freely. The Cash App is on the screen. If you're asking for the Cash App, the reason why I need you all to Cash App is because they will not allow me to monetize my channel. So it's not like you can go in the super chat and donate $10 or whatever. I need you guys to donate any way that you can. If you can't donate through the Cash App, you guys can always donate to the organization directly through the organization at the website floating at the bottom. And there are numerous ways that you can support through that avenue. So we want to move on a little bit and we want to go to Sunset Gift. And we got some more people. It says Rim Dog and Alonza getting ready to come up and speak. But one thing that I noticed is we all got real quiet when we saw the interview with Michelle Obama and Zaya Wade. Michelle Obama is saying that this is somebody all our children need to look up to. This was aired everywhere. This was on People magazine. This was on every major media outlet, TMZ. This is who Michelle Obama is interviewed and saying, our little girls need to look up to this. Y'all don't want to address that. We get real quiet when it comes to the Obamas. And I'm just
Yeah, that's the okie doke.
silence is violence. We get real quiet when it comes to the Obamas. Let's move to Sunset Gift. Then we're going to Rim Dog. And then I got Alonza and Chaotic Truth going to come and join us in the live. Go ahead, Sunset. It's on you.
Good morning, Queen. Good morning. Thanks for having me on your panel and to the chat. I was on a panel not too long ago, maybe like a week or so ago, and I'm not sure the name of the document, but the guy pulled this document up that pretty much gave a whole outline of what they're about to do with this transgender movement. I mean, literally, their whole agenda is to, it said it in the, I can't think of the name of this paper. I wish I knew so I could say it. You could go pull it up. It blew my mind. It said their ultimate goal is to make men sleep with men. Like, I mean, they have been lobbying for this thing for 60 years. These people, because we've been silent, we've let so many little things go with, you know, politically wise, that now they have the open door. We cannot stop pedophilia now. We can't prevent none of that. It has gone so far that now they are affecting the seeds of Abraham. It's just like when, you know, they came and they were able to take the land from the people, but they didn't take it from the adults. They influenced the children. What we see now, they're influencing our children.
And it's a reason why they coming for our children, sis, because, you know, like I say, the word says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, they're impressionable. You can tell a child anything. Going back to the analogy about Superman, a kid can see something on TV and believe that he can become that thing. Let's talk about why they're coming after our children, because they know if they influence this generation, 20 years from now, it'll be completely normalized and nobody will be questioning it.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, try to take a cell phone or social media from a child right now. They go into a frenzy because they don't know how to adapt their mind to natural everyday life. And it's sad because some adults are that way. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong. We all, you know, have and use the internet. But I think overuse to the internet and the exposure that they have thus far exposed our children to is truly ridiculous. Yes, the parents do have to take some type of hit for that, because as parents, I'm a mother, 4 kids. I didn't have to deal with that with my boys, but my daughter, and I have to explain to her, I have to keep it 100 with her. I have to let her know what is going on, and this is what's out here. I mean, it's a sad situation, but I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous. We have no free will. You are not free. And this is the beginning of the next lockdown to enslave our minds before they enslaved our bodies. Now they're going to enslave our minds, which the mind.
I'm sorry. That was me. I just pulled up this video I saw the other day of this little baby crying for this phone. I thought that what you just said was so impactful. I want to share this video because remember, y'all, we talking about how this thing is psychological. Check out this video. Y'all mute your phones for 1 second and check this out. I mean, yeah, the panel, just mute for 1 second. Look at this. Tell me it's not psychological. Sis, go ahead and finish your point. I'm talking about a baby, and just because a baby has been watching something on that phone is entertaining, it brights up, there's bright colors. This stuff is psychological, sis. I just wanted to point that out, and I think that everything you said was absolutely correct. Reem Dog, it's up on you. Let's hear what you got to say. Welcome to the panel.
Peace to everybody on the panel. Peace, Ms. Angela. I spoke with you one time before. We kind of got cut off because it was the end. And you had asked me a question, and it might resonate with you, it might not resonate with you. But you asked me what the solution was. My response right before you left was that we need to heal. And especially when I say we, I'm talking about the so-called Black man. And I say so-called because we really don't know who or what we are. We're activated and moving in a society where the idea of what the God complex that white people have is their ability to name and separate things. Calling us these things has put us in a state with the language and the language barriers to where we can't even begin to understand what we're really even talking about. I know it seems like I'm going to be jumping all over the place. I got to go back to work, but this was very important for me to get up here and say this, and this was the time that I could do it. So please forgive me for my choppiness.
Thank you so much, and thank you for being patient. That's what he said. He said we need to heal, y'all. I mean, this Black man, and he's absolutely right. There is a lot of trauma in our community. Alonza, it's on you, and then we going over to Chaotic Truth, and then y'all, I have got to get some work done. Alonza, talk to us.
All right. I like what Aaron Rodgers said. Politics is a joke, and that's the reason Black folks, it seems like we're scared to deal with the outsourcing slavery that's really going on today. I guess audit IRS and people will run out of the room, Black folks. And what's happening is it's no such thing. Everybody audits the IRS. We need to understand where our money is going. Ms. Anderson, I follow you, and you're the only one doing politics, reading legislation. And it's like you get shunned for that. So my screensaver, because I'm on offense, just to be clear, my screensaver, if you can see that, there's a pyramid there on the top of this building, a glass pyramid. And there are flags there. It's a county flag, and there's a state flag. Then underneath that American flag is a prisoner of war missing in action flag. Do you know what building that is?
No, tell us, educate us.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to test you or nothing. That's where they keep our children separated from their families. That's the Cook County Juvenile Detention Center.
Oh, yeah.
With the prisoner of war flag in the front. They got this in our face, and it seemed like I'm the only one that gives a damn about this. So now I made them take down that state flag in the middle because it shows the preschool to prison pipeline. Most of these schools refer kids to this place in the county where they go to the state as prisoners once they get older, as prisoners of war. And they got the flag right there. It's just in our face, and it's ridiculous. So my thing, like I said, what you're doing, Miss Angela Stanton, is key. If we're gonna play politics, let's get on some offense and stop letting these groups outsource our children. It shouldn't be no people of color and minorities, because nobody goes to the JDL and says, okay, you got to include everybody when they take our money and do what they do for their children. So when we want to do something for our kids specifically, we got to stand on that because it's our money. And anybody talking about people of color and minorities, we got to give them some pushback. So I wrote some legislation that it's basically for children 11 to 24 to vote on, and then it's up to us to enforce it, and we will. So that's, and it's a declaration of freedom, because this is getting so ridiculous. And I had this up on my website for a couple of years now.
And I want to speak to what you're doing, and I want to thank you for the work that you're out there putting in as well, because this was part of my fight. When this is how I ended up getting involved with Trump's administration, because I'm looking at all these people crying about family separation at the border, and I'm remembering how my family was separated. I'm looking at them talking about children in cages, and they've forgotten all about our children in cages and juvenile detention centers across this nation. I may not recognize the one in Cook County, but I definitely recognize the one in Fulton County and Clayton County and many other counties, because I've been inside of those juvenile detention centers advocating and working with our youth. So like that brother Alonzo said, let's not forget our children in cages, and shout out to him. And another thing, there are 1,229 people in the chat. If each one of y'all gave $1, we would at least have raised $1,200 today. Now, it's a shame it's that many people in the chat, and you telling me that we're this engaged, it's this many people watching, but we're not willing to put action behind our words. We're not willing. Like, we have to be willing to put action behind our words. And that is so serious. So y'all make sure that y'all supporting and donate $300, which I'm very, very grateful for. And we're going to definitely put that to the movement. But y'all, come on, let's be serious now. We got to get active as a community, and it takes us all. It shouldn't take no one person to say, hey, I'm going to donate this, donate that, because y'all already know what the Democrats them donate to. Planned Parenthood, okay? Black Lives Matter, bailing the people out of jail that burnt down our Black communities, the studio full. We got all of these people that want to get in, but we got a real movement. Somebody really trying to put us together. This is what we need to get behind, okay? They'll do a whole benefit concert talking about they getting people out of jail that burn down our communities. Why y'all won't do a benefit concert and raise money for the community? All right, let's keep going. Chaotic Truth, you've been waiting. I see you all fly there. Look at our brother, y'all. He got the whole little backdrop, got the button down on with the light up. It's on you. Let's hear it.
Salute to everyone on the panel. Oh, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I wondered my mic. Okay. Yeah. Salute to everyone on the panel. Salute to everyone in the chat. Guys, I'm 37 years old. When I was a child, I went to both elementary and I just woke up, guys. I'm sorry. I went to both public and private schools. In the public school system in the 90s, no teacher I had, and mind you, all my teachers were women. No teacher I had talked about their husbands. No teacher I had talked about their private lives to us. Were those teachers good to us as children? Oh, absolutely, they were good. Black, white, didn't matter. They treated us like the children that we were, special, angels, etc. They never discussed it, as they should have not discussed their private lives. Now, I ended up becoming a teacher. I was a teacher for many years. I saw the writing on the wall, and I quit many years ago. And I actually did a video about it on my channel, Chaotic Truth Live. I quit teaching because of a few reasons. And one of the reasons was this grooming culture. They are grooming your children. I'm the whistleblower. They're grooming your children. It's all planned out in the public schools. The public schools have been taken over by the rainbow community. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a part of the rainbow community. I'm not a homophobe. Hey, do what you do. However, the schools should be separate or separated from religion and other societal behaviors, such as your sexual behavior. You have a lot of individuals in the rainbow community. They want you to know about their bedroom practices. So that's why Florida passed the Don't Say Gay bill, which I love. Now you have Ohio trying to pass HB 616, the same bill, essentially. But people in the rainbow community are fighting against this because they believe that not only do they have a right to tell your children about their sexual orientation, they have a right to groom them, to put the idea in their head. You see, you should let the child select his sexual orientation naturally. And naturally, people generally choose heterosexuality. Hence the reason why there are 8 billion people on the planet. Now, if you are a parent in the chat, if you're a parent in the bushes just watching, I strongly suggest you take your children out of public schools. Because what's going to happen in the next few years, a lot of individuals in the rainbow community, they're going to get big corporations such as Disney. Disney wants to repeal the House bill that was passed in Florida, the Don't Say Gay bill. Disney I'm sorry, go ahead.
Speak.
Oh, yeah. Disney is a billion-dollar company that has major influence. So it's very possible that a lot of these big corporations are going to have their hands in the political jar. And that's a very dangerous thing. These people, they want your boys to be like Dwayne Wade's son. They want your girls to be, I'm just going to say it, they want them to be lesbian. Now, I saw a very disturbing video, and I did a reaction video about this on my page. There was a teacher in the rainbow community. She said that now you guys can look this up. This isn't the chaotic truth just talking. This is, this is fact. This woman in the rainbow community who's a teacher, she did the most disgusting thing that I've seen in years. She took down the American flag in her room. She had her children in her class saluting, and I mean saluting, to the pride flag. I found that to be the most utterly and viscerally disgusting thing ever. Instead of saluting to the flag that has kept you safe all your life, protected you from foreign invaders, provided you all types of freedoms, you had these children salute to the pride flag, the flag that hasn't done those things for them. The only flag that children should salute to is the American flag. There is no other flag. And so you are correct. And I'm so glad that you've done this show, or you're doing this show, because you are right. There are movements that are being supported. And I think people should support the conservative movement. I don't know if you consider yourself conservative, but this seems like to be a very conservative topic.
Well, it's a conservative topic because we got to get involved in legislation that protects our children. So it's not so much that people supporting me, supporting conservatives. Y'all supporting me. Like my connection to the conservative party is to make sure I'm advocating on behalf of us. But if I'm asking you all for support, I'm asking you all to support me for my lines of communication or my organization. It really don't have nothing to do with the conservative party, but I speak on politics because it's important for us to be aware. I just wanted to make that clear. So anybody that has donated, you all are supporting me, and I thank you all for that. And I promise you, I ain't gonna ask you to get behind nothing or nobody unless I feel that there is a benefit to us. Now, Chaotic Truth, you spoke some real facts this morning, brother, and I thank you so much for the work that you're doing and the work that you're putting in. And we need to be making sure that we are supporting everybody that has a channel that's putting in the work, that's bringing awareness, because y'all already know they're coming after us in our channels. But one thing they cannot do is silence us all. Now, there's a young lady, Erica, you were in earlier, and I guess you got bumped out. I want to get a mic to you for a minute for you to talk to us. Then we're going to go over to Black Truth. And after Black Truth, we're going to Mama Deb. Now, Mama Deb riding. She got her seatbelt and her glasses on. I don't know what Mama Deb getting ready to say, but it looked like she going to say something that we all need to hear. So let's go right quick to our girl, Erica. And then Erica, from you, we're going to Black Truth. Talk to us, sister.
Okay. Hello, Miss Stanton. How are you?
Hey, babe. How are you?
I'm fine. I just wanted to let everybody, I don't think that everybody's aware of Khadijah or Khan, whatever her name, Miss Brown, whoever, the new Supreme Court. I think that Black people just support her because she's Black, and everybody has to realize that just because they skin folk, just because they kin folk, everybody is not the same. They don't, just because they look like us, they don't mean that they support us. Well, Miss Brown, she, as a judge, her sentencing or her recommendation for sentencing on cases like pedophilia or any crimes that have something to do with that, she recommend light sentences. She spoke on some of their behalfs and stuff like that. That's the first thing. And then when they asked her, what do you define a woman to be? And she could not define that.
Or when life ends. Come on now.
And my thing is this is part of the agenda, and she has a lifetime seat with that mentality. Yep. So if she thinks that pedophilia isn't that bad and she cannot define the woman, you cannot tell me that this is not an agenda. She's not going to support the views of Biden and Obama and them who already put this stuff in. So, I mean, I just need us Black people to start checking her record. Oh, and by the way, she also was on the board of directors of the Black Lives Matter. And now we see what Black Lives Matter has taken us.
Not only that, let's talk about the fact that they hid her white husband, and then the New York Post put out an article talking about why more Black women should marry white, and it's a picture of Ketanji and her white husband on there. I know we want to say, it ain't about race, you marry who you love, but they keep trying to convince us that we need to choose Black and Black Lives Matter, but ain't none of these people choosing Black. Sis, you spoke some real truth. Thank you for your patience with us. Black Truth, brother, we need to hear from you. Then we're going to Mama Deb. Talk to us.
What's up? All right. Hey, I love what you're doing, Ange. I really appreciate it. We appreciate it. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.
All right. So I want to speak on the system, man. So clearly, physically, right now, we're not going to be able to break away from this system. But collectively, mentally, we all see what's going on. So it kind of, in my mind, I'm like, why can't we mentally move past where we are right now? Because we all can see it. It's clear and present. So let me go back, and this is something that I propose. Now, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I'm ex-military. I went to college. I went to a Black college. I've seen a lot. I propose, and I wanted to get with you and Kwame on this. I don't know where it will go, but I'm going to throw it out there for the people to hear. I propose, and because dealing with Black boys, young Black boys need to be physical. They have to give out some sweat equity to understand who they are as a young Black man, right? I propose that, and it's going to take our mothers to get on board with this. I propose that our mothers, during the summers, we need to send our young Black boys to some type of camp. I went through boot camp. That changed my life completely.
Yep.
I was wild. I was a wild man. But once I went to boot camp, they broke me down and built me back up. And when I came out of there, I was a brand new man. So I propose Black women who was listening to this, and maybe you and Kwame, or whoever can help the system out. You know what I mean? Somebody in the political atmosphere that can help the system out. Help us out, rather. We need to devise a system to where we can get our Black mothers to send our Black boys to some type of camp during the summers, to where we can get them out there and get them physical, show them some woodworking skills, show them some mechanical skills. But mainly, we need to break them down and build them back up.
You know, I think that you said some very important things, and I want to tell you something. I did that with each one of my boys, believe it or not. I sent them to a little military program school because I knew that male presence in their lives was not there. But we need to be very careful these days about where we're sending our children, because I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all really want to talk about it, you know, there is a group, organization. It's called, you know, the Southern Black Girls Association, and they reached out to me and asked me to join their board, and I agreed, because in the beginning it was all about uplifting Black girls and giving out scholarships, and then the next thing I know, we started receiving emails that were all about, you know, gender affirming or making sure that, you know, we allow our children to be who they are, and I had to step back. So based on government funding, which a lot of these programs are covered up under, when you receive government funding, then you have to abide by, right, their requirements in order to receive those funds. So when you guys are talking about sending our children out to these programs and these camps, you need to look into their policies, see who is funding them, and see how they're operating, because we could be sending our children to programs and camps that expose them to some things we don't want them to do. We don't want it to. So thank you, Black Truth, for coming on, sharing your thoughts this morning. Mama Deb, you've been driving that car, whipping that wheel. Talk to us. It's on you.
Headed downtown, getting ready to go on a much needed vacation. I was filling out the application, and of course it had the gender on there, and it also had a little box on there that says your gender will be well respected, whatever it is. It was a whole paragraph outside of male and female. So, but I've been involved in this issue. When I first started listening to you after, you know, people said you were the boogeyman, okay? But I gave you a listing, and your thoughts and my thoughts line up together, because I guess it's Black women. Right. So I went and talked to my daughters. I have 2 daughters. All of our thoughts line up together. I talked to their husbands and my sons. Our thoughts line up together. And we have had a time to look and see the mess that Joe Biden has gotten us into.
Speak.
Okay. All of these people I just mentioned to you, and some of them are gay, are longtime supporters of the Democratic Party. But now that we have had a chance to sit back and compare what Trump did and what Biden is doing to the family and to our country, it's time for us, my people, to back out of that Democratic Party. Okay? It's not for us anymore.
Yeah.
The base of the Democratic Party is trans, gay, illegal immigrants, Afghans, Ukrainians. That's their base. Because what have they done for our people who put them in power? Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's getting to the point where it's shameful.
Yep.
How they treat us. And we are American citizens. And we have fought in every war that this country ever instigated.
Speak.
My grandfather, my great-grandfather, I lost a 19-year-old uncle in the Vietnam War. We are American citizens, and it's time for us to be treated as such. That's one point. The next point is the brother who said that, you know, the gay agenda is so deep, they've tied our hands. We can't even do anything with our own children. They have all the power. That's not true, brother. We have to use the apparatus that's in place. When Ice Cube went up there and all he did was talk to President Trump. And he got so much vitriol from the Black community. And this brother was trying to help us all. And he already had money. He didn't have to do that.
Yep.
My thing is, we go in shifts, right? Because we started off as Republican, and I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm looking at policy and things that have happened and things that are going on with our people. We go in shifts. Okay, the Democratic Party, you know, they started the Klan, right? So many other things. So we were Republican, then Democrat, then Republican. So we have to ride the wave of what our people need.
That's right.
And who's in power that we need to deal with. Okay, Ice Cube, he went up there to Trump. Trump started off with $500 billion for reparations. That was the start. Okay. The Democrats told Ice Cube, we'll talk to you after the election. Like, go away, boy. We ain't got nothing for you. And they haven't talked to him since. So where's Ice Cube now? We're looking for him. Where you at, Ice Cube? We need you now. After they have disrespected the man for just having a conversation and getting something done. Okay. My other point is, I think I had 2 but not 3, but everybody was in the White House. Angela King, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, and a lot of other people up there talking to Trump.
Yep.
He was listening.
Yep.
He was listening.
Yep.
You all got so many things done with him.
Yep.
Who's been in the White House since Biden's been in there? Have any of the people been in that White House?
Speak.
Like the ones I just named? No. They have not. Trump was listening to the people and he was doing what you asked him to do.
He did.
What other precedent have we had to do that? So, in closing, all those people I just talked to you about, my daughters, their husbands, my grandchildren, I have old grandchildren. We've been flipped. We are going toward policy and Republicans. When Trump was in office, he had immigration under control, in which that take our jobs and our resources away from our poor people. Look at our homeless people. And you talked about that the other day. I'm sorry.
I said, speak on it. You preaching.
Okay. You talked about the homeless people in LA in a luxury resort. You know, we ought to be able to go to a luxury resort without seeing homeless people. And homeless people ought to be able to have somewhere to lay their heads at night out of the cold and out of the heat and the elements. These are our tax dollars that they are sending away. And we have our own American citizens, and some of them veterans, fought for the country, sleeping out in the elements, all kind of bugs, and not having the health care that they need. So this is what we're facing now. And the people I spoke about, we flipped. And some of them are gay. 2 of them are gay in my little circle that have flipped from Democrats. We're going to, and my 85-year-old mother. Now, she was hardcore.
Yeah.
So we think she was hardcore, baby. In the rain, in the everything up there voting. You got my mama out here voting for y'all, and this is what you do to her people? No. This is really, really, really sacrilegious now. It's we as a people, we can't keep going. We will be annihilated. With this agenda, our people will not be here. We have to mobilize. We have to act on this. I have a little bit of, I'm retired. I have a little bit of savings. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
I'm 60 years old.
Let's go. I need you to contact
I'm ready to go, y'all.
I need your wisdom. I need these are the type of people that I need to align with. I need your wisdom. I need your passion. It ain't about, us trying to, the real sellouts is the ones that's voting against us. The real sellouts are the ones that's voting for our children to be aborted and sexually transitioned. Here's the picture right here that she's talking about of me down at my oceanfront resort. Listen, this is my view. This is looking right out of my window. This is the homeless people. Like I said, I paid all of this money to be at the oceanfront They got a better view than me. Her house is actually on the sand. How do we have money to send all over the Ukraine gender study Pakistan program? Look at this. Trash. A tent right there. I ain't even call the people and ask for money back because that's what they gonna say. It's nothing they can do. Sis, I need you to make sure I have your affirmation, y'all. It's time. This is one of the things that I want to do before we get ready to go on to Charles and we're gonna wrap up. I need to thank the people that jumped in here to donate this morning. Black Truth, Melanie Williams, Rena Tucker, Jaquanra, and don't beat me up if I don't get your name right, y'all. I'm so sorry. Shaniqua Dawson, Jennifer, Demal Murdoch, G3, Desiree, Tatiana, Kamika, James, Thelma Williams, Douglas, Massey, Anthony, Black Pearl Inc., Cindy, Marion, Clifton Washington, Kennard, Whitley, Willie Davis, Maurice Johnson, Christopher Brown, Palia Brown, Shatoya Walker, Just Bree, David Price, Atonia Robinson, Norma, Jasmine, James Freeman, Diamond Gray, Cynthia Parker, Anthony Dawson, Jay, Toya, Miss Hampton, Mary Cooper, TK Beck, Maurice Carp, Latanya Brown, Aisha Perkins, Sharon Bell, Kawanza Brooks, Abid Batu, I love you, baby, Angela Anderson, Chanel Thompson, Audrey, Florence Nicholson, Linda Doby, Alexandria, Cynthia, Eric Lowe, Kim Smith, Sandra, Dark Low IQ. Man, y'all, listen. This is the movement right here, and it don't matter what you gave. I shouted you out even if you just gave $1 because guess what? All that money add up. We need to pull our money from these organizations that we have been, promoting and donating and put our money in the organizations and people that's uplifting us. Get behind the people that's not afraid to take a hit. Because we the ones that they're coming for, the ones that have the ability to influence and raise up a nation. And that's what we getting ready to do. Those of you all that's donating, that's coming through now, I'm going to shout y'all out in the end. Let me get over to Charles Marbury. Talk to us, brother. It's on you.
Doing this morning. Man, it's a blessing to talk to like-minded Black people. And can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you.
I'm gonna say this. I'm Uncle Charles. Let me just say this, and I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this again. I don't give a doggone what kind of agenda you got. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to raise a young man in there in that room in there. Now it ain't gonna be no hocus pocus, no abracadabra, or no black magic in my house. See, when we leave, we going to Foot Locker and we buying men's shoes, and because we got men's feet, and we're gonna put our men's feet in some men's shoes. And this is what and then we're gonna stomp like the big dogs. We're gonna come out there like men. I am sick and tired of seeing they don't got this guy in a library and he dressed up like a woman. And the little girl said, I can see the hair coming out your chin. How come that girl, that little baby, that little girl got more sense than grown folks do? She noticed he was a man. With all that makeup and all that wig, she knew he was a man. Dwayne Wade can do whatever he wants in his house. But in this house, I'm raising a man. Now, he can do whatever he wants when he leave here. I heard a brother say he was taken to a boot camp. My daddy did me and my brothers the same way. And we didn't even know what was going to happen. He said, y'all get on the back of the truck. And then he pulled up in front of A.G. Gaston Boys Club. He dropped us off and didn't say nothing. He left. And I said, I guess we got to figure out what we're going to do. He wanted us to grow up, be around other young men, and play sports and do art and all this stuff. My daddy was raising us to be a man. Let me tell you something. When my daddy left out the house with no shoes on, went to work. This is what I saw. The work ethic in him is the same work that's in me. Now, my brother's a retired Navy veteran. I'm a retired foundry worker. And my brother's an ordained minister. He raised good stock. But let me explain something to you. When I go to the bank, y'all, and I want to try to get a loan, and this guy is trying to pick me up, I want my money. I don't want no booty. So I don't know what you're trying to do. You keep asking me. You keep saying these little things and setting little traps. And I'm telling you, I ain't getting caught in no trap. You can rest assured that I'm all man. And I'm telling you something. When I go to the bathroom, I ain't sitting down. I'm standing up. This is the way it goes with me. I'm not playing around with you. Now, let's just say this, and I'm going to say this in closing. Everybody, I see people love their children. But Jeffrey Dahmer, parents loved him. And he was eating people. But his mama was in that courtroom every day, wasn't she? Guess what? I love my children too, but it's a certain limit. Once I get to that limit, you're on your own. I raised you the right way. I fed you. I clothed you. Once you're going out the door, you're on your own. You need some advice? You need a few dollars? I'll help you out. It's what it is. It ain't what it's supposed to be. But I'm telling you, I know everybody here. I know my wife. I know what she is. Thank God I know what she is. I know my daughter what she is, and I got my first time granddad, and I know what my son is. I said, son, if you ever go to feeling weird or acting real funny, you come to me. Don't let me find out later. Come to me now. Because I'm not playing around, because I come in your room, I'll take your room apart. There won't be nothing in there but the rug. I'm not playing. And that's all I got to say. I'm not into politics, but we made a terrible mistake when we voted for Joe Biden and put him in there. I'm up there watching him doing a speech, and I went to sleep. And then I woke up, he was asleep. I can't deal with it, y'all. And that's all I got to say. I appreciate my black people. Like-minded, Miss Angie, you're like-minded. You finna receive a lot of bow and arrows, a lot of bricks, a lot of pebbles thrown your way. But let me tell you something. In the end, you will stand there, and you will stand with all the smoke clear, and your people will be there with you. And that's all I got to say.
Woo! Y'all, that's a wrap, man. Listen, the panel this morning was absolutely on fire. I don't know what else to say. They said it all. That's why I removed myself from the panel. Uncle Charles, you set it off up in here. Y'all remember the song? Who was that? Was that Juvie or was that Lil Wayne? Who had the song? Set it off in this mug. What's up? He set it off. Listen, we had some more last minute donations come in. I want to thank y'all, each and every one of y'all personally. I'm finna get ready and go down this list. This is how we get activated. We have these conversations. We bring our community together. We get our people that got skills. We get our mamas like Mama Deb. See, it's something about when people like Mama Deb and myself speak, our people are definitely going to listen. It's something about when Uncle Charles speak, our people going to listen, because this new, and it's not new, but our language these days, they're trying to make it seem as if it is unheard of. Y'all, enough is enough. I want to thank Dwayne Wade and his family for inspiring us to get activated, for us to say, hold on, wait a minute, that may be his house and whatever he's doing, but he is allowing us to see that there is a clear agenda that's coming after our children, and we getting ready to stand up. Drina Walker, thank you, I love you. Amelia McGee, Kia, Sharon McLean, Octavia, Michelle Muhammad, Shonda Franklin, Willie Davis, Yahweh Ben, Karen. We know it ain't that Karen. It's probably the other Karen. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's Kalina. I'm sorry. Rashid, Curtis Howard, William Humes, Kiana Marie, Mathis. We got Supreme up in here. Ryan Gibbons. Let's see. It was a couple of more that just came in. I appreciate y'all. Erica Carson, Kimberly Barrett, all of you all that's submitting, that's not submitting, but donating. We appreciate you all. Those of you, if you have not, look at the website that at the bottom. Go subscribe. We're going to have newsletters going out this week. Included in these newsletters, going to let you know where we're going, where we're meeting, how much money we need to be raised for whatever, where that money is going to be going. We're getting ready to start a whole new board. We need ambassadors in every city across this nation for us to activate our community on what's going on with our children. Listen, baby, if you're out there and you one of our children and you in that movement, this is not hate, baby. This is love. We are fighting for our bloodline. We are fighting for our lifeline, and we are fighting for the next generation to live, to be born, to be free from sexual perversion. Y'all, this is the Ash Show. Y'all did it this time. Stand for something or fall for anything. I'll see y'all in a couple of days. Enough is enough. Send my love to everybody. Thank you.